going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. And I have a special guest with me today. We're actually inside of a Zoom call right now with my good friend Ryan Moran. He actually runs the Google Ads for a lot of my clients in my agency, and he is a Google Ads expert. He's one of the best pay-per-click experts out there, and he's actually a YouTuber as well. So at the end of this, I'll have all his stuff linked down below if you guys want to go check out his channel and learn more about Google Ads. But in today's video, what we're going to be talking about is how to sell and when to sell Google Ads to your clients, right? Because a lot of my audience, a lot of you guys out there, you already own agencies. Maybe you have a couple clients. Maybe you have them for social media services or for Facebook ads or for something like that. That's outside of Google, because Google technically isn't, a social media platform, right? So if you have a social media marketing agency, that might not be a service that you're offering. But a lot of people underestimate the power of Google Ads, and they think everything is, needs to be done on Facebook, when in reality, like the video that I just uploaded previously on my channel about multi-channel marketing, it's really important, especially in this day and age, as a digital marketer, to have multiple skill sets and to be able to offer multiple different types of services to your clients. So I'll just let Ryan introduce himself a little bit, and then I'm actually gonna hop out of here and let Ryan take over this video and talk all about Google Ads and how to sell it to your clients. So thanks for coming on, Ryan.
Thanks, Kieran. Thanks for having me on. Hey guys, so I'm the owner of Ryan Markets. I got a YouTube channel just going over Google Ads. And for the past 3 years, I've been running Google Ads for clients as well as affiliate offers. And I really got into the space with affiliate offers, moved towards client work. And I just love the power of advertising, getting instant results for people. And I've been working with Kieran for the past couple months here. And he said, let's just jump on a call here. Let's add some value to you guys. As he mentioned in the previous video that I actually watched right before this, it's a multi-channel world, guys. So tacking on additional services is a way that you can scale your agency while remaining lean at the same point. If you're good at sales, all you got to do is handle the sales, and you can outsource the rest of this. Facebook ads is going to be good for some things, whereas Google ads are going to be good for others. So having those two things in your arsenal and being able to whip those out whenever you need to is going to make you extremely versatile on a sales call. And that's what we're going to cover here. All the basics, the high level information, so that you're able to go out there and confidently sell Google Ads to your existing and new clients down the road.
Perfect. All right. Well, again, thank you so much, Ryan. Everybody, throughout this video, get a pen and a notepad out. You're definitely going to be learning some really cool stuff. And without further ado, I'm going to hop off. Ryan's going to take over and teach you guys all about the basics of Google Ads and how you can upsell it to your clients.
Okay, guys, so we're going to jump into the meat of this video. This is actually my second time recording because the first time it was deleted by my software. Hopefully, though, that means it's just going to be even better this time around for you guys. So what we're first going to cover is how Google Ads works, just a general process of that. We're just going to run through it really fast. After that, we're going to jump into some high-level principles and expectations with Google Ads. And then I'm going to pull that all together into something practical that you can take to sales calls and actually use. So let's jump in right away and just cover how Google Ads works. So let's say someone goes to Google, they type in dentist near me, and they're looking for a dentist, of course. And ads are going to show up on top here. You can see them by the ad icon. Also, if you look in the map, there's going to be an ad there now as well. You can click into the More Places tab, and there's also going to be ads there. And at the bottom of the page, there's going to be ads as well as the additional pages. And where these ads show up is dependent on a few different variables, one of which is how much they're willing to bid in order to get a click, as well as what their quality score is. And quality score is a number between 1 and 10, and it's basically a health score. It's saying how healthy is your ad relative to other ads in this industry. And let's say you have a quality score of 8, then that's going to reduce how much you need to spend to achieve the same exact position as someone who had a quality score of, let's say, 5, who wants to be in the second spot. Quality score is made up of multiple different components, but the 3 most important ones to consider are ad relevancy, so how relevant are your ads to the actual search that was made, click-through rates relative to other advertisers historically in the same position that you're at. So let's say in the 2 position for this search term, most ads are getting around 2% click-through rate. If you're getting 3%, then you're going to get the benefit of the doubt, and you'll have to pay less to Google to achieve that same position. There's also landing page experience, so how people are interacting with the landing page once they click through. People are bouncing off right away, then Google knows this, and then they're going to slash your account a little bit, where they're going to make you pay a little bit more to achieve the same position. So what someone's going to do is they're going to click one of these ads, or they'll go down and they won't click the ads, but anyways, let's assume they do, and you're going to pay for that click. I'm not going to charge them by opening it up in a new tab here, and they're going to be sent to the landing page or website, wherever you're sending these people. And there's a few different things that these people can do. They can reach out to your business by just calling that number on their mobile phone, dialing it manually. They can book an appointment, so they could fill out a form, so that would be another form of conversion. Or they could do a click to call on a mobile device. I don't think you can see it here, but you can literally just click the number. It will prompt the mobile device to directly call the business itself. I'm not going to go into how to design of a landing page here, but generally it's going to follow similar principles to a Facebook advertising landing page with slight differences. But for the most part, you want to show testimonials. You want to show clear messaging, exactly what you want the person to do. So eliminate confusion as much as possible. If you have some sort of offer, some sort of value add, that's really important. Showing the people just what they want to see here. This is really good. I like the looks of that. The hours, the doctors, people care about that stuff specifically for this industry, etc., etc. So that's pretty much it for Google Ads. It's different than Facebook ads in the sense that Facebook ads is interruption-based advertising, where Google Ads is just intent-based. So someone goes to Google, literally tells you exactly what they want, and all you're doing is just putting in front of them what they're already looking for. So it's a lot less complex. You don't really need super complex funnels for this. All they do is they type that in, go to an ad, and reach out to the business, and all of that can be tracked. The main difference between Facebook ads and Google ads is scalability, of course, because with interruption-based advertising, you're persuading people. It's not keyword-based, whereas on a local level, there's only a certain amount of people typing in dentist near me. So even if you want more leads, then you can't go past that monthly search number. Okay, so now we're going to jump into results just so you can get a sense of what to expect with Google Ads lead costs. Now, don't take this precisely, but just to get a general look at what these leads would cost relative to Facebook leads, because as mentioned, Google Ads is intent-based, so this is going to reflect in both the cost but also the quality. Whereas with Facebook leads, maybe 5 to 10% are actually going to turn into paying customers. Google Ads, I've seen from 20 all the way up to 70% of those actually turn into paying customers. So it's worth that additional price to a lot of businesses. So let's just jump in here. This campaign right here is for a pest control company. And at the bottom, you can see cost per conversion, which is both forms and phone calls, is $63 each for 50 different ones. And their average service price on the low end is $500 plus in revenue. So this is a pretty saturated market. They're still profitable, but not super profitable in this specific industry. It's pretty easy to get leads, but they don't have a lot of repeat customers. So pest control is not actually my favorite industry to work in. Next one would be personal trainer. And I actually am not showing the cost per conversion here, but I believe they were at like $80 to $90 for a lead, which at first glance is crazy. You'd say, oh, that's way too much relative to a Facebook lead. But this is a high-end personal trainer, and he was both running Facebook and Google Ads, and his Google Ads were just killing it. Super low volume. We only got him 29 leads within that span of time right there. But just off of 2.5K basically of ad spend, he made 20K in yearly recurring revenue. So great ROI there, even though super low volume, really high lead cost. This other one, the background's a little messed up here, but fencing contractors. So this is a pretty nice one. Blue collar industries are easy to turn over a lot of leads for good pricing. Fencing contractor, average revenue per client is going to be 400 plus. We're getting them leads for around $40 each. Next one, this is going to be a massage certification program, so a massage school, and what their tuition is $7,200 for each student for a 6-month program, and we were getting leads for $27 each. And when he told me that when he got someone into a scheduled tour, he was converting at 50%, and we were getting scheduled tours with ad spend and my own management fee plus setup fee, just total $250 each student. So that means $500 per student for a $7,200 program. And the last one is podiatry. So this is a foot doctor, and they are pretty nice because they're a niche, like specialty medical service, and the competition isn't super high. It's pretty low in this industry, so cost per clicks are low. And their average revenue per customer lifetime is quite high, similar to a dentist. A little bit less comparative to a dentist, but either way, we're getting cost per conversion of $27 each, so they could buy this all day. And this last one right here is a landscaping campaign, which we had snow removal, landscapes, and hardscapes. And once again, the point of showing you all this is not to give you a precise cost per lead that you can expect. If you took this exact same landscaping campaign and copied it into another area with the same exact landing pages, you'll probably get different results. The point here, though, is just to show you that there's a huge variety in services that can work with Google Ads. Basically, if there's search volume on Google, then you might as well throw up an ad on that. There are some scenarios where there's just no search volume and Facebook ads is the only thing that you can do. But yeah, the point here is really just to show you that huge variety. I'd say 90% of businesses will work with Google Ads. Okay, now that we're done with results, what we want to cover is some general guidelines when it comes to expectations running Google Ads. Expectations are really the hardest part to get right with your clients. Producing results is pretty much the easy part, but the expectations is the thing that really can get you in the long run. It's going to cause a lot of headaches if you don't get that right. So that's why I want to cover this high level information right away, and then I'll move into some practical information later on. Right away though, let's hit one of these myths that Google Ads or Facebook ads in general are just instantaneous results. And although they are, literally you can have leads coming in the day that you set up a campaign, optimization isn't instantaneous. And optimization happens over a long period of time. So let's just say we're looking at this graph right here where you're looking at CPA, which is cost per action or cost per lead. If you start this off right off the bat, you may be starting it in a season that's just not a high performance season for the industry that you're in. And in which case, if you only run it for a month, you're going to show this to a client and the client's going to say, oh, it's not performing well, let's stop it. But if they would have ran it for 3 or 4 months, they'd see that they were just in a lull. Or on the flip side, maybe you're running this on a season that's really a high point and you sell a client, and then 3 months down the road, you hit a low season, and for no factors other than the seasonality of this, your performance drops, and your client is going to blame that on you, regardless of rationality. So really what you want to be looking for with clients is a long-term vision, because anyone who's just looking to run this for 1 or 2 months is not going to get a big data set to look at, and they're going to see this variation right here, these squiggles where it's going up and down by the day in the season or the week itself. And if you're looking at just that data, then you're not going to get a good glimpse of performance over time. Really what you want to be looking at is this green line, and hopefully your performance over a long period of time is going to be dropping. But really a lot of people just want to look at these zigzags over weeks and they say it's not working. And if you get a client like that, they're very reactionary and they're going to push that on you, and you're constantly going to be getting all these texts like late at night, like, why is this way? Can you fix this? Or why is this performing this way? What did you change with the campaign? When really there's nothing wrong with it. You just need to give it more time. So one way to weed out low quality clients right off the bat, short-term thinkers, is just to say, if you're not planning on running Google Ads for 3 months or more, then I probably wouldn't run it. You're going to scan out some people that you could have sold, but you're going to eliminate a lot of headaches in the long run. Now, the reason for this time period for optimization is something called significant data. And you may be wondering, like, why are we learning this for a sales video? it's still important to know this information just so you can communicate correctly with whoever is running your campaigns, whether that's an outsourcer or if you're just doing it yourself. This is going to be super helpful. And to understand significant data, you can use the example of flipping a coin multiple different times in different groupings. And let's say we want to measure the absolute probability of getting heads. And right away, we know that the actual probability of heads versus tails is 50%. But let's say we just, one group, we look at this sample size, we flip it once, it's pretty likely you're going to get heads, right? And in which case, you'll look at that sample and you say, heads came up 100% of the time, so heads comes up 100% of the time no matter what. But we know this is wrong. You could do it twice, and it would be less likely that you'll get 2 heads in a row, but still quite likely. And even in that scenario, you could get 100% heads, and if you're only looking at the sample size, you're going to assume that heads comes up 100% of the time, all of the time. Even with 10 flips right here, you're much less likely to get 10 heads in a row in this scenario, which is better. But it's still probable that you'll get 7 or 6 if you're lucky, and in which case you'd say 70%. But as you can see, these numbers converge down to the actual the more times you flip that coin. And statistically speaking, that number that you really want to be reaching for is 30. So if you want to judge the actual click-through rates on an ad or a campaign or an ad group, then you want at least 30 clicks. And then if you want to judge the conversion rates or cost per conversion, you want 30 conversions. So let's show this in the example of 2 different ads right here. So let's say we're split testing 2 ads and we want to know the actual click-through rates. We want to see, okay, which ad has a better click-through rate here. At this amount of data, we just can't make that judgment call just because we don't know if there's going to be more variance in these numbers, and it was just a fluke that this ad didn't get in front of good searches. Same thing with the conversions here. We'd probably want to wait for more conversions to come in to accurately judge this conversion rate. And with every client, you can't wait all the way for 30. 30 for each level of a campaign can take a very, very long time to get. So really, you're going to have to make some sort of compromise here. With clicks, it's easier to get 30, but maybe you dial it back a little bit to 20 to make that judgment call. And with conversions, maybe you dial that back to around 10 to make that judgment call. It's really about how much risk you want to take. With a lot of local clients, you don't need to wait all the way for 30, but you also don't want to be making decisions off of 7 clicks or a few conversions. Okay, now let's talk about a correlation between bids, your lead volume, and your cost per lead. So in general, if you want to increase how many leads you're getting, you can do that by improving your quality score or increasing your bids. And quality score takes a long time to improve. That's going to be like a year-long process. So if a client wants you to improve the amount of volume of leads that you're getting, the quickest way of doing that is just increasing your bids. But the thing about this is when you increase your bids, you're going to be paying more for a click, and assuming your conversion rates stay the exact same, that's going to increase your cost per lead. Now, let me pull something up real quick here and where this is practical, because a lot of business owners, I've had business owners come to me who are running $500 a month and they're getting $50 leads, so they get 10 leads. And that arithmetic makes a whole lot of sense. But they'll say, I need more leads, and I need more leads at a cheaper cost. And these two things are kind of diametrically opposed, right? So they're trying to get more leads at a cheaper cost, and they're trying to do it in a week. This is impossible. So basically what I tell them is we can drop your lead cost and maintain the volume over probably the course of several months. And let's say we drop the lead cost by half to $25, then that means you're going to get 20 leads now per month. But that's going to take a long time. So if you want to increase your leads very fast, then what you're going to want to do is just to increase your budget. Increase your budget to $1,000, and now we're instantly at 20 leads per month. Okay, that was some high-level information right there. So let's pull it all together. This will still be high level, but you'll see this all come together in a second here. From what I've found is that a lot of clients have different goals when it comes to running ads. And your goal as a consultant is to figure out exactly what their goal is. And a lot of times they're going to say it's multiple different things. They're going to say, I'm trying to reduce costs, I'm trying to maximize profit, I want the most leads possible. And they say all these things that are sort of opposed in a way, as you saw before. So what you need to determine is what is their highest priority? What is the main thing that they're looking for? And what I found is that clients seem to fall into different buckets of needs. Now, before jumping into that, let's just talk about this graph real quick. This graph is profit versus CPA, so cost per action, cost per lead. Profit is simply revenue minus the expense, and that's what that axis is right there. Okay, so let's start by moving on this graph right down here. So let's say you just want the cheapest leads possible right down here. You can get that. Maybe it's like $5 a lead depending on what the industry is, $5, $10, whatever. But the thing is, your bids are going to be so low in those scenarios that you're just not going to be able to get the volume to increase the total profit of a business. So as you increase your willingness to pay more for a lead, you're also going to increase how much volume you can get. And the more volume of leads, the more business that's done, more revenue, more total profit. And there's a point right here versus right here that we need to talk about. So let's say you are spending $25 for a lead as compared to $38 a lead. For $25 a lead, you probably are going to get less volume in total than on this point in the graph at 0.6. But your margins are going to be better because you're spending less to acquire that new customer. And although you're getting less volume, your margins are better, so your profit's about equal here. On the flip side, over here, you might be spending more for that lead, but you're getting more volume, more total revenue, reduced margins, but that more leads kind of make up for that, and at that point, your profit is about the same. Then it drastically drops off down at this point because if you keep increasing the max amounts that you're going to pay for a lead, then there's a certain point where your margins are going to shrink so far that you either net zero or you lose money on that first customer. There are some businesses that actually aim for 0.7 on this graph because they're looking to push out competition. They know that the lifetime customer value is really high, so they're willing to lose money or net zero on the starting payment because they know they're going to make it up on the back end. There are some businesses who are trying to get a lot of volume, so they're kind of in the same league right here. These businesses want to get a lot of volume. They still want to maintain their profits though, but they don't care so much about getting the lowest lead value. They're fine with spending more on a lead as long as they get a lot of volume of leads, but they still want to be profitable. Then there's people who want to maximize their profit, and they don't care so much about getting the most amount of leads. They don't care about getting the lowest value possible. All they care about is this total amount of profit that their business makes. This is a good customer to have because they usually know their numbers. Even these people as well, they really know their numbers too in order to do that. So these are really good clients to get. And then minimize CPA. So people who are trying to minimize CPA but also get a good profit are going to be in the 4 spot. And this is where you want to aim, is that 4 spot, 5 spot, 6 spot is the most common, or all these are the most common. But even out of those, I would say this area right here is the very most common. With a lot of local businesses, all they're trying to do is minimize their CPA while getting a little bit more leads. Okay, now I'm going to bring all of that together because getting those goals down right off the bat is really going to help you in your calls with clients. Now there's going to be 6 major keys that you want to discover on a discovery call with a prospective buyer. Whether you're running Google Ads or Facebook ads, SEO even, web design, it doesn't really matter. These are all important questions to ask. So let's jump right in. The first one is going to be figuring out what that major goal is and bucketing your clients into each one of these categories. So maybe they are a client who just wants to reduce costs while getting a little bit more leads, the majority of local businesses, or they're a client that really know their numbers. They don't care about the most leads possible. They don't care about the lowest prices possible. They just care about profit. Or they want volume. They just want a lot of volume, so they're trying to push out competition, or they still want to get profit, but they don't care so much about their lead costs. And then there's vanity. There's some businesses that actually just care about being seen on a certain level of Google, so they want a certain position, position 1, position 2. They want to be seen in the maps area. They care about how many clicks that they're getting. These are metrics that I wouldn't normally suggest focusing on, but these clients, I wouldn't turn them down just because it's pretty easy to produce results for them. But yeah, there's still a lot of businesses that just care about those numbers. So getting a good grasp of where they fit in this is really important. Then the first thing after that, what you really want to determine is the lifetime customer value of the prospect. And most businesses aren't going to know what this exact number is. It's pretty complex and hard to measure. And if they do know this number, it's a good sign that they're a really good client. If they don't, it doesn't rule them out. Just try to estimate the best you can. You can start with just the initial sales price, assuming that it's kind of like a one-off business. But with a dentist, you're going to have to do some estimations with how long they're staying at the offices, how often they're coming back per year, how much they're spending. But really getting a grasp of this number with your client on call and at least getting them to agree on and verify, yes, this is pretty much on average how much revenue I make is going to be vitally important. And using that number, then you can work your ways backwards and figure out how much they're able to spend in order to acquire a new customer. And let's say an example of 4,000, maybe they're willing to spend $800 to acquire a new customer. Great. Next, you'll want to figure out how many new customers they're looking to get from advertising per month. And this is an important number to know just because it's easy to assume most businesses could take another 10, 15, 20 new customers per month, depending on the industry. But it could be the case where they just don't have the capacity for it, and they might give you a number, let's say 5 new customers, and they'll be happy with their advertising efforts. So using the numbers before, you can determine how much they're able to spend per month in ad spend and how much they're likely going to want to budget. So if they want 5 new customers and they're willing to spend $800 per customer, then they're probably going to want to budget $4,000 per month for ad spend. Now this isn't going to be exact. Who knows if the Google search volume is even going to match what they could spend. But anyways, it's a good starting point. It's a good number to know right off the bat. Now the last thing you want to understand is how long they're in the game for. So like how long can they wait to reach their goals of $800 per customer? Because it might take several months. It might happen right away, but it could take 3 months. It could take 4 months. It could take 5 months. How long are they willing to wait? How long are they willing to go in the red to get to that number, that goal, $800 per customer, and will instantly indicate whether they're a long-term thinker or a short-term client. Okay, so now let's go over the pricing models and how to price their services. Now, Google Ads is going to be split up into basically a setup fee and management fees. A setup fee could be something that you choose to do or you let off, you just don't do it. But this would be a one-off, and that's going to include the account build and or landing page creation. So if you're doing landing pages instead of the website, take that into account, and you'll probably want to put that into a setup fee, which is just a one-off deal. Otherwise, you could do no setup fee, and that might be easier to sell, but there is quite a bit of front-loaded work with Google Ads, and you're going to miss out on that opportunity. So it's give or take in that scenario. You'll also want to decide on whether you're going to do monthly versus contracted, and you could do like a 3-month minimum contract to lock people into a certain duration, as talked about before, just to ensure that they're seeing a good duration of data just so they can accurately judge performance, and you can force them into that. The downside is it might be harder to sell this service, and with the month-to-month, it might be very easy to sell just because they can cancel at any time, but the cons is they can literally cancel at any time before they're even ready to make a judgment call on this. So once again, choose what you think is going to be best for your style of selling. Now let's go over the pricing models. Now flat fee is just going to be one flat fee for your management, and it's going to be every single month. And you can choose whatever makes sense for you and your business. It could be $500 a month, $750, $1,000, $1,250, $1,500, $2,000, $5,000. I don't care. As long as you can sell that value to the client, go for it. This is a good pricing model just because it's super simple, easy to charge clients, it scales well, and the incentives are aligned pretty well with you and your client. Whereas if you see with the percentage ad spend, the more your client spends, the more you're going to make. So there's a little bit of misalignment there, and a lot of clients will not like this model as much. And the other downside to this model too is It doesn't work as well on small client accounts, which are a lot of local businesses. And a lot of local businesses aren't going to be spending more than $5,000 a month in ad spend. So if you're taking 10 or 20% of that, you're not going to make as much in management as you could if you just did a flat fee. But where this is very powerful is at these big accounts like $20,000 a month, $50,000 a month, those big clients. If you're on percentage ad spend, you're going to be making a lot of money. The other option would be a performance-based PPL, pay per lead. You may have already heard of pay per call. I prefer pay per lead just because it encompasses multiple different lead events. It could be a phone call, it could be a form, it could be they got directions, I don't know, whatever you choose to sell. But you could go to a client and say, I can produce you form requests and phone calls for this particular service for $100, and you know very well you can produce that lead using Google Ads for $50, and you just take that profit. The good thing here is that it's very easy to sell that. Everybody wants results, and the other good thing is you own all the assets yourself, so it's not like you build something for them and then they just cancel after a month and take everything you built. The downside is it's very hard to scale this. It's hard to figure out with the client what exactly qualifies as a lead, what are those qualifications, and then keeping up with that at scale is very hard to do. Also, billing at scale is very hard to deal. I've done this model, and it's easy to sell, hard to scale. Then there's a hybrid model, which is a mix between any and all of these. And two in particular that I like are, my favorite would be tiered flat fee management. So you just say, in between this budget range for ad spend, this is my flat fee. In between everything above 10K, this is my flat fee. Everything below 4,500, this is my flat fee. So you have 3 different tiers there. Or you could do everything below $4,500 in ad spend is a flat fee. Everything above that switches to percentage base. So those are the 2 different hybrid models that I like. I would suggest you just do the tiered flat fee. It's very simple, easy to scale, and you make more money on those bigger clients. Also keep in mind that you're going to be doing package services. Most likely you're going to be selling horizontally, upselling, downselling, Google Ads packages with Facebook, with SEO, web design. So figuring out how to incorporate that pricing alongside those is going to be important, because you can give great deals on Google Ads if you're already doing SEO, and it makes that deal a little bit more juicy for that client, and it could just be a way of getting them to buy into an SEO package. So consider all of that. Ultimately, you want to come up with your own numbers here. I'm not going to tell you what to charge, but use these models. I suggest the multi-tiered flat fee management model. Yeah, and what you're looking at right here is actually a document that I'm putting together for a free course on how to sell Google Ads services. It's really how to sell any sort of advertising service, but specifically around Google Ads. And there should be a link below this video. I'm not completely done with it, so just click the link, sign up for this. I'll send it to you whenever it's finished. It might not be finished by the time you're watching this. My dog's in the background there. But anyways, sign up for that. I'll see you guys hopefully in another video. If you want more content around Google Ads, just check out my my YouTube channel. It's going to be Ryan Markets. I might be changing that to PPC Fire pretty soon by the time you watch this. And until next time, guys, cheers, good luck. Let us know in the comments if you have any questions. Like the video, and yeah, happy selling.